The Society of Jesuits. The Society of Jesus was founded between 1538 and 1540 in an historic moment in which a profound renewal of spirituality came about in Europe. The Society of Jesus came around thanks to the initiative of Ignacio López Loyola. Strange and fairly controversial Saint Ignacio was born in Loyola, Basque Country in 1491. He received a poor and elementary education, but with a strong religious base. He was dedicated to the army. He loved reading books on chivalry and knighthood. These books made him dream of grandeur. In 1521, at age 30, his life was changed drastically. After he had been wounded in the siege of Pamplona by French troops, Ignacio had a long and painful rehabilitation. During his time, he was able to read the Flus Sanctorum, Exemplary Lives of Saints, the Vita Christi by Rodolfo of Saxony, and the Imitation of Christ by Thomas Kempis. These readings, along with his fondness for books of knighthood, led him to outline a new gallant idea at the time, the Knight of Christ, a knight in God's name. And according to this ideal, he decided to leave his old life behind. He set off towards the Holy Land, taking his pilgrimage to Montserrat, exchanged his clothes with a beggar and became a hermit. Finally, he went to Jerusalem, with the task of converting non-Christians in the Holy Land. He returned to Spain later, and in 1525, in pursuit of the greater intellect he felt was needed to become a Knight of Christ, he enrolled in a school to teach Latin grammar to children. 2 years later, in 1527, he enrolled at the University of Alcalá, in those times the most important of its kind in Spain. After that, he travelled to Paris. He signed up to the Sorbonne University. During this period, he finished outlining what was to be the Society of Jesus. Whilst there, he met Pedro Fabro, Francisco Javier, Diego Lainez, and Alfonso Salmerón, among others, men who would go on to make up the backbone of the company. This group, far from interested in the struggle against Protestantism, concentrated on a different direction, promoting their ideals going east, converting infidels. This ideal supplied them with great motivation, and gathering one evening in Montmartre, they made vows of poverty and chastity and decided to go to the Holy Land. However, despite the motivation and willingness of each, the project failed, so they decided to go to Rome, where they joined the Pope's service. Although they were known under the Society of Jesus in 1538, the institutionalization of the new order didn't occur until 2 years afterwards, when the Pope Paul III approved the order. The Jesuits are spread out today in 112 countries, over 6 continents. Firstly in Europe, and then Asia, where Saint Francisco Javier went, co-founder of the company who first arrived in Goa. Later they arrived to Latin America, decades after Columbus's discovery. Afterwards, they showed up in Africa. The first Jesuit to arrive there was Pedro Paez, doing so in Ethiopia. The current Pope indeed is a Jesuit, becoming the very first Jesuit Pope in 2013.